Scoot, KPJ will be playing tonight, and Dennis is out. Yeah.
He's talked so much about trying to lead and influence young guys. For him to just keep insisting on coming back in that game last night, maybe that's just how he is, but is there sort of a message also?
For sure. It's modeling. It's leading by example. It's having toughness, in a tough situation. That he did not want to come out of that game last night, and he sure could have if he wanted to. But he, for our young guys to see that and to see a vet do that is important. And it's another learning lesson for our group, hopefully, that twisted ankle, poked in the eye, regardless, I'm coming back and I'm going to play in this game, regardless of what the score is or whatever. I'm back. I'm playing.
Did you look at the video of the elbow?
I did.
I didn't have a chance to look at it.
I didn't necessarily think it was an elbow. It looked like it was more of a finger in the eye to me.
When you're watching this Jazz team, how do you think Danuel House has kind of fit in with this squad?
Oh, he's done great. I mean, defensively, the job he did on Booker the last game, I mean, so into it. The energy that he brings, the shooting that he brings to this group. They do a great job of moving the ball, and when they play pick and roll and they kick it, he's just standing still shooting, and that's what he's very good at, and then getting out in transition. So he's been a very good pickup. I'm proud of him and happy for him to get in the situation that he's in right now, because he's a contributor on a really good team and he's playing well.
Why I guess did it not necessarily work out with him at the end? Obviously he had a great year, with James. But yeah, why did you guys move on, in your opinion?
Probably a few things. I mean, he had injuries when he was here towards the end, and the minutes were kind of up and down with the younger guys. We play a different style than was played here before. And, there are less spot ups and more kind of plays you have to make off the drive and kick. But overall, that wasn't like an easy decision to make at all. Like, I love Danuel House, and everybody here does. It was just one of those NBA things that happens in a season. So it wasn't necessarily anything that he did wrong or anything that that we were like angry with. It's just one of those NBA things, and that happens to a lot of guys. But I'm happy he's landed on his feet with a great organization and he's playing well. That's the most important thing.
When you're developing players, how do you weigh, I guess, the importance of the games and then like what these guys are doing before the game, in practice, in film? How do you kind of mesh just the importance of those things? And what do you think is the most important of all?
That's a good question. There is the game part where you're kind of applying what you're doing in the pregame or pre-practice or practice skill work. For example, Jalen working on his pitch game where he's hitting the top and then either cutting one way or cutting the other way and getting it back. And last night he had one where he hit the top, came off, shot his mid-range jumper. It was great. 2 games before that, I think he had one where they went under, he shot the 3, and then he hit again, and he went downhill and finished. And all that stuff is done during his individual workouts and his pregame stuff. And it's the repetition in that allows him to do it during the games. The kind of nuanced part, I guess, is finding the time during the game to apply, right? So that's where the film comes in to play, where you're, I'm always about the why, like, why are we doing it? So they have to understand, okay, we're doing this drill. then you'll see it on film. This is an opportunity to do it. And then they'll do it in the game and repeat. So they all go hand in hand. I would say the play part is probably most important because you can pick out different situations, you can stop it and show them and teach that way. But the individual development headed by John Lucas and Robbie Keck is so important to their development so that they can apply.
We only get to see the games.
Yeah.
So how much of what they're doing away from us are they, are they going to be able to do at some point, I guess is the best way to ask that.
Yeah, I mean,
what are we not seeing on the floor during games that they're doing in practice and in film outside the games?
Not much. Not much. We try to kind of, especially during the season, you kind of try to tailor it to things that either they can pick up quickly or things that they're already doing and that they can improve on. Now, in the summer or off season, you can kind of work more on the weaknesses. And maybe if a guy is a poor ball handler, you don't want him trying a new dribble move in the middle of a game that you're working on individually, before practice or not. But most of that kind of development comes off season so that they can fail and tinker and kind of figure it out and then apply, as opposed to during the season. We don't want too much experimentation during the games.
We don't really want you to fail in front of X amount of people and not really.
I don't think it has anything to do with the people or the fans or anything. It's you want guys to be confident with what they're doing on the floor and helping them with their strengths and tailoring their strengths in a way where they can be successful on the floor, breed success. Whereas if they're doing something that they're not quite comfortable with, doesn't necessarily breed the same success to me.
Two guards out. Was there any consideration of bringing Danuel in?
Yeah, we had talked about it a couple of days ago, and we were assuming that Kevin would be back and Dennis would be fine. So, but Dennis is not fine. So, I don't know. There's a possibility.
It's possible for them.
Yeah, it's possible. It's possible, but I would. It doesn't seem that Dennis's ankle is too bad. He came in for treatment today, and there was thought that maybe he would be able to play, but couldn't. So it's not like a long-term deal.
A different subject.
Yeah.
The pick and roll defense has been very up and down, especially recently. Those good stretches, do you find that encouraging compared to what February brought? Or is tonight, and these guys the test of if you've made real progress?
No, I mean, the last 3 games we've been better. The third quarter, like I said last night, the pick and roll defense was not very good. And that was our breakdown quarter where they scored 40 points, and it was mostly pick and roll stuff. But overall, I would say we're moving in the right direction with our pick and roll defense. We are, since the All-Star break, which is super small sample size, we're 8th in defense, and that's something that we wanted to improve on. But we'll be tested tonight for sure. I mean, we played Orlando and the Clippers twice, and now we're playing the number 1 offense in the league. So we'll definitely be challenged tonight. But the kind of focus, I guess, of the guys on the defensive end is something that I've really been preaching since All-Star break, and we've been doing a better job.
How have you seen Alfie specifically adjust to defending pick and rolls?
Last night we tracked his pick and rolls, and he was one of our better pick and roll defenders last night. And we've made a few tweaks in our pick and roll defense. He did a good job, and hopefully that continues.
We'll take 2 from Zoom.
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yes, we can.
Okay. Hey, Stephen,
Hey.
piggybacking off of Adam's question, you kind of touched on it, but wanted your perspective on the development of your younger players. How do you approach consistency and habit development versus experimenting or working on a new skill or role during the season? Or can you even do both for guys like Alpi or Jalen?
Yeah, I mean, I did touch on it a little bit earlier as far as usually kind of trying to work on the small tweaks that you can make during the season and work on the I wouldn't even call it bigger issues, but like expanding somebody's game usually is done during the summertime. So especially for the younger guys who are swamped with learning this league and learning NBA basketball and learning our coverages and our terminology and so many different things, to add a new aspect to their game during the season is pretty tough. So we try to do that in the off season and really concentrate on just improving, tweaking, and making their strengths even stronger during the regular season.
Thanks.
The last question, Mark Burbitt.
Stephen, I know you didn't mention this, but on the injury report, it showed Garrison was probable. Is he good to go?
Yeah, he's good to go.
Thank you.
Yep.